Hello, creative freelancers and solopreneurs. Welcome to part 2 of goals, setting goals in a transformed way so that you actually achieve them and it feels like it's worth setting them. I'm McKay. I'm the founder of Business of Creativity, and this is Coaching for Creatives. Every week I come to you live and I share something about business, marketing, and mindset. And it is that time of the year where people are starting to talk about goals. We're starting to talk about finishing strong and setting yourself up for success in 2021. And last week, we looked at some of our current beliefs around goals and why you might be listening to that marketing messaging going, yeah, not for me. I don't want to set goals. No thanks. So last week, if you haven't already, check out the video recording of Coaching for Creatives to get grounded in why we should still bother setting goals. Because today we are going to talk about, okay, now that we have the belief that goals still matter, that it's worth setting them, that they are powerful and can be used to actually achieve results. How do we do that? How do we access and leverage the power of goals in a way that actually supports us, especially as creative thinkers? One of our big challenges is we have so many different shining things that we want to pursue or we want to achieve or we think is interesting. And so what happens a lot of times for creatives is that we'll set our goals based on who we are today and what is interesting to us today. And then next week, we might get distracted or start to see something else that feels shinier or more interesting. So one of the things that is really helpful in setting up goals that work is to really look at the difference between what you're interested in and what you're committed to. And sometimes that's hard to evaluate on our own. So I recommend connecting with a support partner or a coach or a networking group or a mastermind community and just checking in and sort of working with someone else to determine, is this something that I'm just interested in or am I committed to it? So sometimes you can give your score, yourself a score, like out of 0 to 10 to say, like, how committed am I to this? Often, however, commitment comes from why something matters to you. So if whatever goal you decide to set or however you decide to set your goals, really connect to why that particular goal is meaningful to you. What will be different in your life, in the life of those around you? What kind of difference will it make in your ability to contribute to others, to serve others? So stepping into thinking about goals not as a have to, a should, a to do, an obligation, but really starting to look at them as an opportunity for changing how things are in your life. And how you can measure that is, are you interested or are you committed? One of the ways that people have sort of traditionally approached setting goals is by looking around at all of the things that aren't working in your life right now. Where are you sucking? Where are you a failure? Where do you really need to pull up your socks? So a lot of times when we're looking at setting goals, we're doing things like, oh my God, I'm too fat, I'm too isolated, I'm too poor, so we're kind of showing up as either too much bad or not enough good, and we're kind of shooting all over ourselves as the foundation for setting a goal. And think about that. How does that actually set us up for success? By focusing on all of the lacks, all of the shortcomings, all of the places where we feel not enough. That doesn't make sense to set our goals from there. Yes, we need to identify our opportunities of where we maybe need to focus to improve or bridge gaps. But I propose to you that if you have in the past looked at all the things that suck and then set your goals, it's no wonder you think setting goals isn't any fun at all. I propose to you that you can set your goals by first doing an inventory of awesome, by reflecting on what have you already achieved? What have you already accomplished? Where do you have evidence that you are the kind of creative who can get things done, who can make things happen, who can improve in your life? If you're interested in an inventory of awesome, I'm happy to send you a free downloadable worksheet to do your own inventory of awesome. However, I want to make sure that you are invited to a live interactive workshop called Focus, Clarity, and Action, which is coming up on 3 different dates, and it's there to support you in using new and transformed ways to set goals so that you will actually achieve them. And that brings me to my final point in looking at how do you set goals that actually work. One of the things that you want to do is, if you set goals that are these big, audacious, kind of like, oh my gosh, dream big, stretch yourself, go farther kind of goals, those are great for pulling and motivating us to go farther than we would if we didn't have those goals. They can be really challenging to add action to. Meaning, sometimes if those goals are too big and too far away and we have no idea how to achieve them or even where to start, that can make those goals more of this kind of obligation or this yardstick that we're never gonna measure up to. So yes, I believe in setting powerful, dream building, motivating, exciting, pull you farther goals. And it's important that every goal have a place to start. How will you start? Where will you start? What action will you take? Can you take today, this week, next week? What are the series of actions that you believe are going to move you towards a milestone, a measurable milestone that's going to start getting you closer and closer and closer to that big, big dream? So, gang, without those actions, there's the saying, I'm trying to remember the saying right now. I think the saying is, dreams without actions are fantasies. So, where can you start building your dreams into reality? You can do that by setting actions to go to match your goals. So get focused on what really matters, get a clear vision for what that success looks like, and then set up an action plan for achieving those goals. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do that for yourself in your business, to look at 2020, to find the wins. I'm going to guide you to find the evidence of awesome, to do your own inventory. I'm going to coach you in how to see how amazing you really are, even if it feels bleak, gang. I am brilliant at finding possibilities for celebration. Then I'm going to work with you to help you get super clear on what a desired outcome actually looks like, the milestones that are going to help get you to that end game. And most importantly, what actions will you take to get there? It's a full and complete workshop to set you up for success, at least for the first 90 days of 2021. And gang, we've been through a lot. It can be quite defeating and demoralizing to think about even stepping into setting goals, given the feeling that there's so much uncertainty. The economy has been disrupted. A lot of the plans that we had last year and goals that we had last year have been disrupted. And we can still make plans for our future. We can still create a framework and milestones to pull us powerfully forward, and still work within a disrupted economy to plan a future that's going to lead to us living that dream of having a life and making a living doing work we love. That's my invitation to you. The link to register for Focus, Clarity, and Action. There are 3 different dates coming up over the next 4 to 6 weeks. The link will be posted in the comments and in the description. I'd love to hear from you. What has your experience been in setting goals? What works for you? What does not work for you? Let us know in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you here next week on Coaching for Creatives. I'm Aura McKay. I'm the founder of Business of Creativity, and we are committed to bridging the gap between your creative genius and running a successful creative business. See you next week. Thank you so much.